Hey everybody, welcome again to Wingman Nation. I am the Wingman, and this is where we sit around and we visit about all kinds of things. I share some of my stories and, I don't know, metaphors, if you will, hoping to help you avoid making some bad decisions, decisions that might cost you dearly, whether financially or emotionally, personally. And you share your comments with me, so thank you for being with me today. A week ago today, my wife and I did a video. My wife and I had to get a new doctor. Our doctor had retired, and so we had to get a new doctor. We have the same family doctor. She went the day before I did. So 1 week ago today, I did a video about my first doctor visit and some of the red flags that went up. And I said that I would update you and that the jury was out. And I know it's only been a week, but I've got to share this with you in hopes that maybe you can tell me how you deal with disappointment. So, my wife and I went to the doctor. Everything's fine. Some red flags went up, but both of us take some prescription medication. My wife, shortly after the video that I did last week, my wife and I went over to the pharmacy to pick up her prescription, and they gave her the wrong prescription. And she's like, I can't take that because they know that in my medical folder. I told them I can't take that medication. It's a cholesterol thing and statins, blah, blah, blah. I can't take that. So gave it back to the pharmacist and contacted the doctor, and the girl that answered the phone, nice enough, but clearly, it wasn't in her wheelhouse. And she said, well, I'll let the doctor know. And so the doctor looks at it. Apparently, the doctor looks at it and says, oh, okay, yeah, I see it here. And re-prescribed, if you will, gave her another medication. But that was a red flag. And that was just like right after I did my video last week. So I take several pharmaceuticals, some prescriptions, and I wanted to get mine. I was out of blood pressure medication. And they called it into the pharmacy, and the pharmacy never called me. And so I stole one of my wife's blood pressure pills the next morning. And we went over to the pharmacy, and I said, I'm here to pick up my stuff. And I gave my name, my date of birth, and all that stuff. They said, we don't have anything for you. I said, well, yeah, it was called in. It was the doctor's name. Sir, it wasn't called in. We don't have anything for you. So call up the doctor's office and get put on hold for 10 minutes and finally get somebody. And they said, no, we did call it in. Well, they did call it in. They called it into the wrong pharmacy. And so, they didn't even apologize. They said, which one is it? Well, we thought it was this one. I gave them the right information. And so now I got to wait till the next day. I go back to the pharmacy and pick up my stuff, except they only have half the stuff they're supposed to have filled. And I said, where's the other half? They said, these are all we have orders for. And I'm thinking, my wife got the wrong medication. They didn't call mine in at all. Now they only called in half of them. And I said, I don't want to pick anything up. Don't want to pick anything up. I want to pick it all up at the same time. So call again to the doctor's office. And you see where this is going? It's my expectations were too high. The doctor's office, again, they tell me, well, we called it in. I said, well, they didn't get all of them. Can you please help me? They said, we will. And then the phone rings. I'm going, oh, good, good. And it's the doctor's office. And it's this lady that spoke about 1,000,000 miles an hour. I said, ma'am, she was calling about my blood test results. Cholesterol and the PSA and all the blood test stuff. I said, ma'am, you got to slow down, please. I said, you can talk fast, but I don't listen very fast. So please, I'm making notes and just... So I wrote everything down, and still the pharmacy did not get the orders. So now it's the next day. And so this has been going on all week long. Now it's the next day. And my phone, it's the doctor's office again. Oh, awesome. They finally have it figured out. No, it was the same lady that called, and she gave me my blood test results again. 1,000,000 miles an hour. I didn't even stop her. And do you have any questions? I said, no, but I wanted to thank you for calling me again because you called me yesterday with the same information. Oh, okay. Not I'm embarrassed, I'm sorry, Man, I didn't make a note of it. Claiming no responsibility, just, oh, okay. So finally, I got my medications. So it took a week for me to get my proper medications. And it was just the lack of caring. But let me tell you how I got the medications. When I went, now I'm starting to get my fuse is just going down to nothing. And so when I went to the pharmacy and picked it up, they said it was still only half. And my wife goes, what are we going to do? We're going to go see the doctor. So we went to the doctor's office. And I walked up, can I help you? I said, I'm not sure if you can help me. I need to speak with a human being that is responsible for calling in the prescriptions. Can I have your date of birth? No, ma'am. We're not going to start out like that. I need the human being. I need to speak with them that calls into the pharmacy that orders the pharmaceuticals. Well, we have several of those. And now there's like 4 different medical assistants because I guess my voice and my demeanor was a little elevated. My wife is standing there right next to me. And they're like, well, what's going on? Please, I don't want to tell the story more than once. I just need to speak to someone now that is responsible for calling a pharmacy. What is the problem? I'm not getting my medications. Then I'm thinking, these people are only responsible for my health. They're watching out for my well-being, right? So I'm going to fire these people. I'm done. They finally found, oh, I'm sorry. We had closed it out. We didn't do that. I'm sorry. I'm lying. They didn't say they were sorry. Oh, it looks like they closed it out after they called in the first ones. We'll take care of it. I said, well, thank you. I'm going to stand here. I'm going to wait right here while you call in. I want to hear you take care of it, please. And they looked at me like I was a terrorist. And I wasn't ugly, but I was not going to leave. I'm not going to go and spend any more of my life trying to help them do their job. I'm just not going to do it. So long story short, I did get my medications. And the other thing is, my confession is I did not fire them. I didn't. Probably should have. Maybe you would have. But I have just learned that there are some human beings on this planet that you're not going to change them. They don't give a crap. If you ask them if they give a crap, oh yeah, we care. But there's no caring, it seems like. The standard of customer service and personal care and attention and responsibility and accountability. And do you know what? When I left the doctor's office, and my wife is so sweet and so nice, she said, well, thank you very much. I did not say thank you. I did not. And do you know what they did not say? We are so sorry, Mr. Warren. This will never happen again. We got our wires crossed. Except 0 responsibility. None. I was the bad guy. I should have just shut up and waited until they figured it out. But I just can't do that. So I think the message today is not just about the pharmaceutical and the people being, at least I believe, inept and lowering standards, but it's our having to realize, each one of us, a level of lowering our standards, what we're willing to accept. And I hate doing that. I don't think that as a new patient at my doctor's office, it's going to get any better moving forward at all. What can I expect? I can expect people blaming others and think, They call up and give you the same medical report over and over, but they don't call in the right prescriptions. And I know you can say, well, people make mistakes. Yes, they do. When I make a mistake, I am the worst person ever because I kick my butt. If I disappoint you, if I give you my word and I disappoint you, and I know that I could have done a better job, that I was just lazy, I just put something off, I beat myself up terribly. I've got this huge burden inside of me that I carry. But if you ask for something and you're disappointed because I can't, part the waters, you're asking for a miracle, I don't get hung up on that. I try to explain the situation. But dealing with disappointment, dealing with people that continually won't accept responsibility, they just can't do it. It's not in their DNA. How do we change that? Or do we just say that's where we're going? Because what I see is we're going down, 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 down. These things I say it all the time. They have sucked the humanity out of being human. I want to look at people in the eye. I want to hear them. I appreciate reading your comments and listening to voicemails. Those are good. They really are. I appreciate that. But when given an opportunity to look someone in the eye and say, I'm sorry, Mr. Warren, I accept responsibility. I was the one that messed up and it will never happen again. If somebody did that, I would say, thank you. Thank you. And I would give them the benefit of the doubt. But when they don't even apologize, there's no remorse. None. When I built my campground, when I built my ranch, my TV show, I kept my word. And if I didn't, I broke my word. I said, oh my God, I am so sorry. I couldn't, and I hate excuses. But I built it on honesty and having people trust me. And I tell them the good news and the bad news. And that I'm a flawed human being, but I'll own it. And I expect you to be a flawed human being, but to own your promises and to keep your word and maintain some level of excellence, a desire to be the best that you can be in whatever your field is. Do you see what I see? That we have just lowered that and people just do the bare minimum? I have to do it with the people, the guy that comes out and does my yard. You know, every once in a while he'll do a good job. Most of the time he just does enough to get that check. Just enough. Do I fire him and get somebody else that's going to do maybe a worse job? What do they say? It's better to do business with the devil that you know than the devil you don't know. I don't know if any of this makes any sense. But I do have my prescription, so I'm a happy camper, but I don't like the effort that it took me to go through everything and do everybody's job for them just to get it. My question for you is, can you relate? Another question, do you think that I'm being too picky, or we just all need to just chill, just accept what other people tell us, wait our turn, be patient, be nice? Or how do you find that sweet spot? I'd like to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. Drop a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn your notifications on. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman, encouraging you to be the best wingman or best wing woman that you can possibly be. Tell the truth. Keep your word. If you make a mistake, own it. Own it quickly. People will respect you more and the world will revolve just a little bit more smoothly, I think. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.